Every now and then I think, you know what, maybe we should update the intro song. But gosh dang.
We just updated it.
I know, but like, you know, just to keep things fresh and everything. But
people like consistency, and that's a dope song.
It is such a good song. If you like that intro song, go to embracethegraypublishing.com and just throw some love to our friend Michael Rubadue. Because, man, that is a good song. Yes. It is so good. Welcome to this episode of Laugh and Be Blessed with your hosts, Jake and Chia Rubel.
Hello, hello.
Look at that. Chia's here.
I'm here.
Isn't that something?
It's
something all right. So thank you for being here. We're excited to do this episode of the Laugh and Be Blessed podcast because we've been laughing and we've been blessed. So we want to get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You move that mic a little closer to you.
Hello.
Yeah. I feel like I always tell you stuff like that, and then people are like, everything always sounds fine.
Yeah. Well,
like,
you always complain about like all the noises in the background, and everyone's always like, you can't hear any of that.
Well, you know, I'm a stickler. So we're happy to do the podcast. I feel like if we just keep saying it, then people will be like,
maybe you'll believe us.
Yeah, we really do enjoy doing the podcast, and what's cool is recently we've like been to some shows that people listen to the podcast and actually came out and seen the shows because of the podcast.
They'd probably like it more if it was more consistent.
I mean, we only skip a week every now and then, because I did one last week.
That's true. Okay.
So,
and this one's just coming out late.
Yeah, so it's fine.
And we will be recording
Sunday,
putting it out on Monday. So
yeah, so we're here. We've had some fun things happen.
Yeah, we have. We
just got back from Michigan. We had a little Michigan run that we did. Chia was able to go with me.
I'm in the middle of my mini vay class / staycation.
Mm-hmm.
Went on the little trip with you, and then the rest of my time I'm home for a total. I have a few more nights before I go back to work. A total of 12 nights off.
That's insane.
It has been insane, and it has felt so good.
Yeah, it's been really nice. I mean, having you be able to go out with me. Will you go out with me? Having you be able to go to the shows with me last week was so much fun.
It was fun.
It was.
I really enjoyed it.
It was great. So we started the trip off. We left on Wednesday and we drove to Marshall, Michigan, to a place called Turkeyville, USA.
It's like this campground area.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Whenever I get gigs sent to me from, I guess, the agency that I work for or work with. I don't really work for them, I guess. I don't know. The agency I work with, they'll send me like an itinerary, and it always has like who I'm supposed to call if there's an issue, what time I have to show up, and, you know, if it's a clean show or if I can, you know, say whatever I want, which I always do clean anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But it's nice that they say those things. So they give me like a rundown, the itinerary of the show, but a lot of times they don't say what the name of the place is. Mm-hmm. So I had no idea what this place was for 2 months, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it was like getting close to the date, so I was thinking maybe I should just look it up and just have an idea of what I'm going into. So I typed the address into Google, and it popped up and it was like, Turkeyville, USA. And I was like, oh no, like what is this? So I messaged one of my friends, Andy Beningo, he lives in Michigan, and I was like, hey dude, I'm doing a show at a place called Turkeyville, USA. Have you ever heard of it? And he's like, oh yeah, dude, it's a fun room. You'll like it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we get there, and yeah, it's a campground. So it's like, it's the first building in this campground. So we didn't drive through the campground, but it's a huge building.
It's really
like,
neat.
Yeah, it's like a really big, like campground building. It's like it looks like a super old barn. It looks like a haunted Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
That's why it looked like a giant haunted Cracker Barrel.
It was really neat. Like, there's multiple entrances, but the whole thing's connected. Like, one entrance is for the ice cream shop, and they also have like a little fudge bar where you can buy fudge bar. I don't know what else you'd call it. It's a bar with a bunch of fudge, but you could buy like all kinds of different fudge, and then they have this rack of all kinds of different popcorns. We bought 3 bags for our kids, thinking we were great parents, totally forgetting that Jasmine has this appliance in her mouth that we have to tighten up to create space so she can have her braces, so she cannot eat this caramel popcorn.
And it's like her favorite popcorn. She was so mad at us.
So, and then there's, you can either walk into the restaurant from there or go into another entrance to the restaurant. And then
there was an arcade.
There's an arcade.
You can go past the arcade into like a gift shop, like a really big gift shop.
And then
that felt like Cracker Barrel even more.
Yeah. And then there's the theater.
Yeah, there's a big, it's like a dinner theater.
Yeah.
It's like a really big theater. And the stage looked fantastic.
Yeah.
It looked like they were just putting on a play of Oklahoma or something. Yeah. Like, it was very rustic looking.
The food, I like the food. It was all turkey.
Yep, everything was turkey. It was like just looking at the menu, it was like, I guess we'll have the turkey.
I had the grilled cheese, but there's turkey on it.
It was so good.
We call that a turkey melt around here.
Yeah, but it was really good. And then I had just like basically a turkey Manhattan.
Yeah.
And it was good too, but Chia's was like really good. Yeah. I tried a bite of that and that was really good.
If there's grilled cheese, any kind of grilled cheese on the
Chia's
menu,
getting it.
That's probably what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Especially like if Jake has a show in a bar or something, grilled cheese, come on.
Yeah. So then, we hung out there for a little bit and then it was showtime, so did the show. And it was fine. Like, it wasn't like an amazing show or anything. It was a very old crowd.
Yeah.
Well, not really though. There was older people, but it felt like an old crowd.
Old souls.
But there was like a lot of people that was also, like our age that was there and everything. So that was a little weird. But turn your mic around. That's why it's weird. Your mic is backwards.
Oh, I was wondering where that red light was.
You were sounding weird that whole time, and I was like, why does it sound like
How
she's far
about
away?
that?
That's so much better. I was like, why does it sound like she's so far away? So, like, whenever I went on stage, I was talking and everything, and I was getting some laughs, but it wasn't like big laughs. And I said something about, whenever I started talking about driving Uber, I got really confused looks from people in the audience. And I was like, you guys know what Uber is? And they were like, no. Like, not only had they never used Uber, none of them knew what it was.
That's so weird.
I was like, Lyft, anything? And they were like, nope. And I was like, you guys don't get out of the village very much, do you? And then, so it was weird to like do Uber jokes, but then have to explain to them what it was.
Yeah.
But it ended up being fun. We talked to some people after the show that was super nice. There was like a couple they were around our age that they have 3 kids, and it was date night for them. So they really enjoyed, me talking about our kids and everything, and they were really nice. There was the other comedian that was there that night, Steve Ayotte, I think is his name. Was a really, really nice guy. It was the first time I'd ever met him. He was very nice. So ultimately, like, we had a lot of fun. So that was in Marshall, and then the next show was in Midland, Michigan, which is like a 4-hour drive from where we were, I think.
Yeah.
Right? That sounds about right. It was about it was about a 4-hour drive, 3.5, 4 hours. So we didn't want to drive like all the way there. So I was like, hey, we can either just stay there. We were going to stay in our Jeep, but our Jeep has been broke down for 3 weeks.
We got it back.
We finally got it back yesterday. But yeah, it had been in the shop for 3 weeks. I hate Community Chrysler. They were jerks to me. I'll say their name. I don't care.
Just throw it out there.
I don't care. Like, they were, if their customer service was better, I wouldn't have just said that.
Yeah.
But the guy would just call. I had to call him for the first, 2 weeks every day and be like, dude, what's going on? And he kept saying it was the warranty people. And then I'd call the warranty people, and they were like, well, we're waiting for a call back from them. And it was just this whole deal. And that was okay. But the fact, he never really apologized. He always acted like I was being an inconvenience to him. And they waited 2 weeks before they gave us a rental car.
Yeah.
So then for 2 weeks, we just didn't have a car. And then not just that, the day before we got the rental car, our truck broke down. So then we had no vehicle.
Yeah.
And luckily, we have a great mom, and my mom let me, not like we have a great mom, like it's not but luckily, my mom is great and let us borrow her car, so that helped out a ton.
Yeah.
But then, we got the rental car, and then the day after we leave and we're in Michigan, the dealership calls, and they're like, okay, your car's fixed, you can pick it up. And I was like, dude, I told you I was leaving for Michigan.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to get you to get the car done by Wednesday. I was like, I can't come back. I won't be back till Sunday, so I can't pick it up till Monday. And he's like, oh, that's fine. We'll see you Monday. Well, they're closed on Monday because it's Labor Day. And but then he was like, oh, just so you know, every time that they've gone to start your car, they've had to jump it, and I tested your battery. It's testing dead. And I'm like, well, that's weird because the car's only 2 years old, and I've had zero issues.
Not that we've had the car for 2 years, which we have, but it is only 2 years old.
Yeah, it's a 2-year-old battery.
So unless they built this brand new Jeep and said, we're going to put a really old battery in it, no, sorry.
Yeah, so... Which I guess is possible, but the thing is,
I've never had problems with it.
Never had any issues with it. All of a sudden, they have it for 3 weeks, and the battery's dead. So I told him that. I was like, well, I just find it a little strange that I've never had any issues with it. Now you have it, and the battery's dead. Mm-hmm. He's like, well, I'm just letting you know, we can go ahead and fix it for you for $394.
Yeah.
To change a battery.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. So I just went and bought one for like $100 and put it up myself.
Yeah.
Just so I'm very frustrated with him. And then whenever I went to go pick it up, nothing. There was no
apologies or nothing.
No, we're sorry. It took so long. There was nothing. They just didn't care. And I was like, well, we're not coming here. And we're looking to buy a second Jeep because we need a second vehicle. And we're looking to buy another Jeep.
We'll have to go somewhere else.
Yep. I'm not going to go there.
Yep.
It's just ridiculous. So anyways, that's a little rant. So... We leave Turkeyville, USA. God bless them. Really did have fun.
It was fun.
And then we go to. We didn't want to. We couldn't. I wasn't going to stay the night in the rental car. If we had the Jeep, then we were just going to lay the seats down and make like a bed in the back of it and just pull over somewhere and go to sleep. That's how you do it. But I found an Airbnb for under $100 for the night. We'd never stayed in Airbnb.
Never stayed in one, so this was exciting. But I have looked into Airbnbs before for us as a family, and obviously, like with the kids running around, and if we're going to stay somewhere a few days, I want to have the whole house, apartment, whatever, to ourselves. And it always ends up like, well, that's probably about as much as a hotel after like the fees and stuff. So we've never done it. So this was an experience because it was a bedroom in some guy's house.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've definitely never done that. And it was so, like, weird. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, it's not that weird. Like, it's just one of those deals where you're on the road and you just stop and you stay at someone's house. They used to do it all the time back in the day. And then, but also people were murdered a lot.
Right.
So.
But, what Jake means by it was weird is the concept was weird to us. He wasn't weird at all.
No, the dude was super nice.
Weird. It was really nice.
House. Yeah.
He obviously does this a lot because everything in his house was super organized. Like he had all of his cabinets and everything labeled. He had a paperwork of, this is what you need to know about the house, how to log into the Wi-Fi. There was a keypad on our door for the bedroom.
Yeah,
but then there was a separate lock
But he had
inside.
The code.
Yeah, but then there was the other lock on the inside that wasn't coded. I guess that's true. Now, I did... like I said, he was really nice and everything. However, I was wearing a cute dress, so instead of changing completely, I threw on my pajama pants under the dress. And then I had on a sports bra, so I went ahead and took off the dress. Did not take off the sports bra, just slept in it with a shirt on over that. And there was no...
I got naked.
There was no kissy or anything. No, I did not.
I
was
naked because I was
there
like,
could be cameras.
If there's cameras,
no.
He's... Like, it's not like someone's gonna want to see. Like, if someone's looking in that room, they're not looking for me. Like, I'm not.
You don't know what his preference is.
I guess whenever Chia went to the bathroom,
he
at
might
one
like
point,
bears.
Chia went to the bathroom at one point, and I was in there by myself, and I was like checking the closet to make sure there wasn't like a trap door. I was like, what if there's like a trap door and I'm gonna be asleep? And I was like, and my mind just runs all these different places. So like whenever we lay down to go to sleep, I was putting a chair in front of the door and like blocking the door, and I was like, if nothing else, I'll hear him try to come in. And then, like, right before I went to sleep, I was having, like, this very vivid, like, imagination of me falling asleep and waking up to some dude, like, standing over the bed in a gas mask and then all of a sudden, like, maces us or something. And so...
Dude, you have watched too much Criminal Minds.
For sure. Like, 100%. So, but it ended up being, like, super nice. It was the most comfortable mattress I think I've ever slept on. And the next day, we wake up, I open the blinds, we're just laying in the bed looking out the window, and this little family of deer just comes walking in.
That was pretty.
They just come walking in, they're like feeding on the trees that are right in front of the window, and I was like, oh man, this is like well worth the money.
Yeah, it was a nice day.
Yeah, we went and we made a little bit of coffee, spilt coffee all over his counter.
You did that?
Multiple times. Every time that we tried to touch anything, I was just spilling stuff. But we cleaned it all up. And, said thank you to him, and we left, and he left us a very good review. So that
did
was
he?
nice. Yeah, he left us a good review.
What'd he say?
I don't know, like, word for word. I guess I could pull it up.
Jeez. Do you ever, like, you're talking about your imagination running wild. Does it ever creep you out, since our bedroom was built in the garage, that the attic is...
I like how you...
I had to make sure I said it correctly. Is in our ceiling in our bedroom.
Yeah, I've had dreams like right before you fall asleep, how you have like a little dream.
Like that in between state, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like because sometimes the little door for the attic is like open a little bit, like a crack is, and it was basically like I seen someone staring at me.
I'll look at it sometimes when we're going to sleep, and I'll stare because I'm like, what if like the door starts sliding open now?
Yeah.
And I'm like, is there a person in there or some like creepy demon that's gonna crawl across the ceiling and like look down at us on our bed?
So here's the review that he
Okay.
left. Jake and his wife Chia were excellent guests. Very good communication, very polite and very respectful of the property. I would gladly host them again. So it wasn't anything special.
Oh, well, that's special.
Yeah. I'm just saying he
Polite
didn't say anything.
and respectful.
Yeah, but he didn't say
Come on.
anything like, "Oh man, just."
I mean, we even made the bed before we left. We don't
true.
make our bed.
That's true. It's made-ish.
Made-ish. It looked a lot better, but
So we left there, and then we went to Midland, Michigan, and the show in Midland, and we had a hotel for the next 2 nights, and the show in Midland was great, like such a good show. It was at the Center for Arts. And they had the week before they had a production of Jesus Christ Superstar. So there's this huge stage that's outside. And whenever I heard it was an outside show, I was kind of like, okay, let's see how this is going to go. Oh my gosh. Like it was so good. There was like, what do you think? Like 300, 200, 300 people?
probably 250 to 300, yeah.
So, and everybody was just so great. Like, I mean, like when I walked out on stage, the welcome that they gave me was out of this world. There was like tables just screaming.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like a rock star. Like I'm walking out on this huge stage.
They were ready for it.
Oh my gosh. And it was so good. I had so much fun with the audience. I did like a bunch of back and forth. I actually posted a video on my TikTok of asking one of the audience members questions about like being a dad and everything. So yeah, if you want to look at my TikTok, I think it's Indiana Rubel.
I don't know what it is. I just send you stuff on it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's at Indiana Rubel on TikTok. So that is on there. And man, that was just such a good show. And then Andy Beningo headlined that show. He did great. And the fun thing was, it was weird because sometimes like shows, they want to do an intermission, which is weird to me, especially whenever there's only 2 comics. It's like, just do the show. But they were like, in the middle, like once you're done, why did you tell them that there would be like a 15-minute intermission, and then like they were going to have someone else go back up after me, after the intermission, and bring Andy up. And I was like, I'll just do it. Because like what's going to happen is I get the crowd where they're really into comedy, they're all loose, they're laughing, they're having fun, and then there's a 15-minute break. And the point is they want them to go get more alcohol.
I think it worked.
It was fine, but if someone else I feel like would have went up, it would have been weird because it would have been like starting a new show.
Like, who's this guy? Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like, why don't you just let me do it? Because I wanted to keep the energy going and everything. So I went back up afterwards, and I changed my shirt and like put my hair up in a ponytail, and I went up there and was like pretended to be a completely different guy for a second, made people laugh, and then yeah. Oh, and at the end of my set, some dude just like randomly started a Q&A with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, some guy just started asking me questions.
That was fun.
It was a great
wasn't
time.
annoying.
No. It was very polite. Everybody there was just so nice.
Yeah.
And,
it was such a good show.
Yeah, we met a lot of people afterwards buying T-shirts. Some really great people.
Met a nurse.
Yeah, she always meets nurses. And then I got this really, really sweet message from somebody after we left the show because we were driving around looking for food.
Oh my word!
Which is the story of our life. Like driving around looking for food is the story of our life.
Before the pandemic, me and Jake have always been night owls. When we were dating, I used to work at Burger King in Bloomington, and I would get off at 10 o'clock at night. And we usually like ate something there or something, but we always would go to a movie. Mm-hmm. Always.
Yeah, at like 10, 10:30, 11.
Yeah, and that wasn't even the latest
And then
showing.
afterwards, we would go get something to eat.
Yeah. So even before the pandemic, I was starting to get really annoyed because nowhere's open that late anymore.
Yeah.
But most places are open till at least 11 or so. Movies aren't. Now, mid-pandemic, even though people can return to work, there's nobody working. So, which we have theories about that. And we couldn't find food anywhere. Yeah. All these places are like closing at 9:30, 10.
Like
maybe
McDonald's
11,
even. Like all places. It's crazy. But this is the message that the guy sent me. So we left the show. We're driving around looking for food. My phone goes off. We stop somewhere to eat finally. And it was like a really good little pizza place. Mm-hmm. That's the nice thing is we always find like really good food.
We do. We find good pizza places a lot. Like little like...
Yeah.
In the crannies.
So I checked my phone and I had a message on Instagram from this guy and he said, I really appreciate you coming to my very small town. Let me try that again. I really appreciate you coming to my small town and awkward venue. Which I don't know why he said awkward venue. It was great.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because it was a big stage, but
Probably.
it was a lot of fun. He said, my wife surprised me with tickets for my 40th birthday. I couldn't be happier. You slayed, dude. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I slayed. Like Dusty slayed. He's like, you slayed, dude. Keep on doing your thing. You'll always have a fan cheering you on from Midland. Man, that just meant the world to me.
That's awesome.
Because even if you have a good show, you just don't really know like what kind of effect you left. Because like the show's called Laugh and Be Blessed. Like that's really what I want to do. I want to bless people with laughter. So just to get that was great. So then we went back to the hotel. We hung out.
There's another story at the hotel parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
So we get to our hotel and Jake parks the car. And we get out and I notice like a few cars down, there's these guys and they got the tail of the pickup truck down. So one guy's... Tailgate, whatever. One guy is sitting on the tailgate, another guy is sitting in like a lawn chair. And they're just listening to music sitting out there. And I said... Again, we're in Michigan. I said, look at that. That's some Indiana stuff right there. And Jake goes, they have Indiana plates.
Yeah, like they're from Indiana. So we hung out with them for a little bit. They tried to get us high.
Yeah.
I was like, no, dude, I know we look like we smoke.
They kept asking.
But,
you sure?
You sure don't want to? I guess they like run a dispensary in Michigan. They live in Indiana, but they're co-owners of a dispensary. So they were like, yeah, dude, yeah, you guys sure you don't want any of this?
Sample the product.
I was like, dude, yeah, still sober. Even after that 5 minutes has passed, still actually sober. So appreciate that. But they had a good puppy, and I pet the pup some. So the next day we get up and we go to we went to a game store that day.
Yeah,
before the show we
played a game that night.
So like one of my favorite things to do whenever I'm going to different cities is I want to find like a locally owned game store and pop in, see what sales they have going on, and I like to support local. You know, I'd rather just buy games locally than get them on Amazon and stuff. So we stopped in, we bought we got Dice Throne
and Tiny Epic Zombies
and
a game mat.
And a game mat, like a really nice neoprene game mat. So we went back to the hotel and we were eating our food and we played Tiny Epic Zombies. I destroyed Chia.
Okay. I'm going to tell everyone something.
No, you don't have to do the thing.
No,
you don't
yes,
have to do the thing
I do.
because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Stop?
No, because we were both learning it at the same time.
No.
Yes, we did. No, we did. I'd never played it. You'd never played it. We learned at the same time.
But here's the thing, okay?
What's the thing?
I do a lot of the reading the pamphlet, like the booklet, and explaining things to you and breaking it down. So your success is because I was walking you through most of it because I'd be like, okay, you're supposed to do this now.
No.
Yes.
No, that's not true.
It gives you a leg up.
What about the second time I beat you at it?
Huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We were still learning it.
No, you can't do that. You just lost.
Were.
You lost the Tiny Epic Zombies twice.
No.
And then the next day...
Ooh, the next day was so good.
Yeah, the next day we...
slept in.
We slept in, as some people like us will often do. So we slept in, and then we went to... where'd we go first? You wanted...
Well, the day before we went to the game store, we went to Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
And then, so we had gotten books, gotten games. So next day, I needed to go to Target.
Yeah, that's right. So went to Target. Ooh, yeah,
stuff.
and I bought 2 games there.
Yeah, because they had like a sale going on.
Man, yeah, so I bought Back to the Future, Dice Through Time.
Yeah.
And what did we pay? I think $8 for that.
Yeah.
We paid $8 for that, and then we bought a Blockbuster game. It's a sequel to the other Blockbuster game, but it was $3.
So we were like, well, might as well.
Yeah, I'm not.
We want
not
the
gonna buy those.
Blockbuster game, and we need to get it, but it's a party game, so we have to have more people.
Yeah, so we walk around the mall because Target was in the mall.
3 there. Did we not?
No, we just got those 2, and then we got another game at another store.
Okay.
Because I thought the same thing. I think we were going to, and we put one back.
Okay.
So then we were walking around the store and just kind of like checking stuff out and looking around, and then Chia, like we walked by a massage place, and I was like,
because we were walking through the mall. Yeah.
I just said that.
You said the store.
I said the mall. We're walking through the mall. And we seen a massage place, and I had said something. I was just like, "Hey, you want to stop and get a massage?" And she's like, "No." For whatever reason, I was like, "Okay." I was like, "We could have, but if you don't want to, that's fine." We kept walking around, and then we go to a place that's like a nail salon, and Chia was like, "You want to go get pedicures?" And I think she thought I would just be like, "No," but I love my wife. She wanted a pedicure, and I'm not gonna let her get like. I mean, I'm sure it'd be fine if she got one by herself, but she really wanted me to get one with her. And guess what I did?
He got one with me.
I got a pedicure. And guess what Jake loves?
Pedicures.
I freaking loved it. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? It turns out it's just another word for foot massage. Mm-hmm. That's all the lady did.
And the chairs were massage chairs. So we were getting like these really good back and neck massages.
Yeah, and then the lady, I was soaking my feet, and then she came over with like her little tool belt full of all kinds of gadgets and what have yous. And she like tapped the footrest for me to pull my feet out of the tub. And she she looked down at my feet and she looked at me and she goes, "Your nails are too long." And I was like, "Yeah, that's why you're here." So, so I didn't get them collared like Chia did. She got
Jake
pink
picked
sparkles.
out my polish for me.
And then we...
It's a little fancier than I would have gone for myself, but...
Then we went out to a steak dinner that wasn't that great. It was perfectly okay.
Yeah, it was expensive, so it was a gamble.
Oh, but the nice thing was that this old couple sitting next to us, probably in like their mid-60s, they were completely sober when we got there. And then she started ordering margaritas like crazy. And he was just slamming beer. And they were like just a cute old couple. And I watched them slowly get sloshed. They got so drunk that at the end, the waitress came over and like they'd already paid for the bill. They'd been sitting there for a while. And the waitress just comes over and she's like, "You guys need anything else?" And the lady just goes, we need a ride. She's like, "We just need a ride right out of here." And she was like, well, hold on, let me call some people. And she came back and was like, "Well, I can't get a hold of anyone. So I'm just going to give you a ride." So the waitress just left for a minute, gave them a ride home, and came back. I was like, all right, I like that.
Yeah, it was pretty cute.
Yeah.
The lady's all stumbling out.
Yeah. So then we went back to the hotel. We played Dice Throne that night. Who won?
Well, again, I was explaining things
I
to
explained
you,
that
so
one to
you
you.
won.
False.
No.
Yes.
No, you explained it wrong. Do you like?
That's not true.
Like the little
That's not true
tokens
at
on
all.
our thing. Like you were completely wrong about that.
Okay,
and I had to explain that. No,
you also
no,
thought that was it.
No.
I told you
No.
that. You lost 3 games.
Baby,
and then the next
no,
day,
I
we
didn't.
drove to Saugatuck, Michigan.
Yeah. We did.
Saugatuck, Michigan is a perfectly okay place for people that are not Jake and Chia. Mm-hmm. It is.
It's a great place if you have a yacht.
Yeah. It's like there's yacht clubs. All the restaurants there were like the food just for like a regular meal was like $25.
Let me give you an example. The place we ate, because it's right on the water, so we're like, well, we want some kind of seafood. And I was hoping for some more crab and lobster dishes and stuff. But we got to this place, and I seen shrimp boil on there. I love shrimp boil. I make shrimp boil at home, and I think it's pretty good. But I'm assuming at a restaurant it's going to be more. So it's $25 for this dish, and I'm like, well, and I'm sorry if that doesn't seem like a lot to you, but I only usually pay that if I'm going to get a really good, like, filet mignon. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well...
People are probably listening to this and like, you pay $25 and you call that a good steak? You know what I mean?
Yes, I do, okay?
I just stopped and got us McDonald's and got off the dollar menu, so...
Yeah. But I'm thinking, well, it's got to be good. And Jake's seen Jambalaya on there. And so he's like, well, that's probably got to be good. So first, it was great. They told us 30 to 45 minutes wait. We got our table in less than 30. I was like, all right, great so far.
We sat on the dock.
Yep. We got these cheddar biscuits that were amazing.
Dude, the cheddar biscuits were better than Red Lobsters because that's what they were kind of tasted like.
Yeah.
But they were better than Red Lobsters. And it came with cinnamon butter like you would get at
Texas Roadhouse.
And it was 10 times better than Texas Roadhouse.
So good.
Like, it was insane how good that was.
So then our dishes come out. So for those of you who don't know, when you make a shrimp boil, you usually make it in a big pot. There's usually sausage in it. You cut the sausage bite size.
Yeah, they did not.
And if someone could comment on our Facebook page and tell us why it's normal to leave the shell of the tail on a shrimp, please let me know.
Like, I think it's okay if you're eating just shrimp, but if it's mixed in with your dish, like if it's mixed in your rice and everything, you want to just be able to, like, you know, fork a bunch of food into your mouth. Yeah. You don't want to have to, like, stop and pull the tail off.
So, and then...
but that's a common thing.
When you make shrimp boil, you drain all the water. And it's got all kinds of good spices in it.
Well, at least you do.
No, everyone I talked to, every video I've seen, that's what you do. You drain the water. So this was soupy. I had to cut up the sausages myself. There were only 5 pieces of shrimp in it. Again, this was $25.
Yeah.
And maybe some people that's not a lot of money, but for this, that was a lot.
It tasted okay,
but it wasn't okay, like great. But it was not what shrimp boil should be. And it's like they tried to make it so, like, fancy and bougie. And just so y'all know, shrimp boil is a country dish.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I mean,
like whenever we first pulled into the town.
Even corn was weird because, like, you get corn on the cob, right? And, like, I break ours in half. Mm-hmm. But I leave the whole cylindrical piece.
Right.
They, like, broke it in half and then
sliced it
down the middle. I'm like, listen.
Yeah.
I'm a grown adult. I can eat corn on the cob the right way.
I didn't ask for a quarter cob.
A quarter of a cob.
What is this, quarter cob?
Quarter cob.
Yeah, say no quarter corn cob?
And then
what is this, quarter corn cob?
Jake's jambalaya wasn't spicy at all.
No, like zero spicy.
I thought that was like, when you say jambalaya, I thought the word spice was in the word jambalaya. Yeah. You just don't say it. Like,
the town was very, very bougie. Mm-hmm. Like, as soon as we pulled in, Chia instantly got anxiety, and she was like...
Oh, we were driving around, and I was like, I don't think I like this.
She's like, these are just bougie people.
Yeah.
They were nice. No one was rude to us or anything
except for the looks you were getting.
I have travel clothes. I think a lot of people probably do, but I have travel clothes. I drive around a lot. I'm in the car a lot. So I have a pair of slippers that I wear whenever I'm in the car. I always wear a pair of gym shorts and usually a loose-fitting tie-dye shirt. Mm-hmm. Well, whenever we got to town, I was like, well, I'm not just going to change before the show. I'll wait till right before the show.
Because we got there like 5 hours before the show.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just going to walk around town comfortable. So I did take my slippers off and I put regular shoes on, but I'm just walking around in a tie-dye shirt, pair of shorts, and, you know, have that's it. But like walking down the street, people are wearing like giant hats, like really big, expensive looking hats. They're all dressed very, very nice. Mm-hmm. We'd be walking down the street and people would literally get off this, or we'd be walking on the sidewalk. People would get off the sidewalk, stand in the yard, and let us walk by. Mm-hmm. Like they didn't even want to like move out of the way a little bit. They were like completely avoiding us. Mm-hmm. Like, and like, I mean, I literally had people pointing at us. And it, like as we were walking, like they would just point at, and it was so funny. Chia was like, "Is it hurting your feelings or anything?" I was like, "No, dude." I was like, "I don't care what these people think about me."
When I say like, I don't know, like kind of elitist type of people. Like we walked by a little like deli, and it had outside seating, and there was this woman sitting there. And I'm being very judgy, I know that, but that's okay. I'm judging people with more money than me, so that's fine. And this woman had this huge diamond necklace on, and I was like, I am from Bloomington, Indiana, where our people who do have money, you wouldn't see that. You might see like a big, huge, like, what kind of necklaces am I thinking? Like, if you've ever watched Bones, the kind of necklaces she wears.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying, yeah.
Like very hippie-ish.
Yeah.
Even our people with money.
Yeah, so, but there were some nice people. There was a few people that came up and, like, complimented my shirt, and there was definitely some nice people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that everybody there was like that, but the majority, we felt like was like that. So then, it's time for the show to start. We go to,
we met some nice people down by the water.
Oh, yeah. But that's because they were like our type of people. Yeah. They were in the town. They were down there fishing. He had ripped up blue jeans on.
Yeah. And she was sitting in a lawn chair fishing.
Yeah.
She said the same thing. She's like, they weren't talking, but I was talking. So
yeah, like they were passing joints around and stuff. So it was just like those are more our kind of people.
We sat down there for a while with them.
Yeah, we were down there for like an hour, just hanging out, and then we went to the show. It was at Coral Gables. On the water, beautiful place. Mm-hmm. The people there, the staff was great. Everybody was super, super nice.
Yes.
The host was great. Everybody was just very nice there. And the show, I thought, started off really, really good, except for a couple things. So anyone who's ever heard my show, I talk a lot about how, like, you know, I'm very proud of my wife. My wife is a nurse, and I'm extremely proud of her. I watched how hard it was for her to go to school and everything, and the accomplishments she's made is astounding to me, and I'm very proud of her, and I like to bring that kind of stuff up in my show. But I'm also a comedian, so I like to make jokes about it and stuff, and I have a joke about how nice it is being married to a wife, because comedians, we're not paying bills. Mm-hmm. And I said that, and a guy right in the front row just goes, ugh. Like audibly, and I was like, okay.
This bum.
Yeah, like
he looks like one and he is one.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone always laughs at that, not this crowd.
No. But there was a few tables that were like really, really great. Yeah. And there was like one lady who was super nice to me. She gave me a high five after I said like what my kids' names were. She was very sweet to me. And then Andy went up, and she was not as sweet to Andy after me. Like, I thought I had a pretty decent set. And Andy, I think, had a really good set, too. But I think there was just a couple people that he let get to him.
It's because you insulted them a couple of times.
Yeah, probably. Because I definitely did. I made fun of him. It's like, I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about this guy real quick. But Andy did great. He had a great set. It was just fun. Like, it was such a fun time. Then we came home, and we went to my uncle's house the next day. We got home at 5 o'clock in the morning, went to sleep. Got home at 5 o'clock in the morning, went to sleep. We looked forever for food.
Yeah.
Like we looked forever. I was going to say,
we did not just come right home.
That's true.
The first place we tried to go to, we didn't realize it was in...
Let's be real. Like, can we be real?
Oh,
no. Let's break it down.
Let's be real.
We stopped at a gas station to get gas. There's an Arby's right across the parking lot. That is open. And I'm like, let's get Arby's. Chia says I could really go for a burger. No,
you had already mentioned Five Guys, and that's why I said, well, I could go for a burger.
No.
Anyways.
I found Five Guys after.
Where the Five Guys was, it was so packed. We couldn't find a place to park or anything.
Not only was it packed at Notre Dame in South Bend.
Yeah, we didn't know that's where it was.
All drunk college
kids. And it's Saturday
kids.
Night, so we had to leave because there's nowhere to park. And we couldn't even see in the restaurant to see if it was packed. So, because I thought about just having Jake drop me off, but I was like, well, he could be going in circles forever. So we left. We ended up finding this place that was open till 2.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We stopped, I bet, at 6 places that Google said was open, and they were all closed. Mm-hmm. We finally stopped at a place because we go to like a Burger King that's supposed to be open. It was closed. And the place we found, I think, was called like Max Shrimp and Chicken.
Yeah.
And it was insane in there.
Oh, there was only two guys.
They spoke broken English, which is fine. But the issue is that when somebody was ordering something, I don't think they were understanding exactly what the person was ordering. Mm-hmm. So then they were giving them the wrong stuff and then reading the order back to them. And they were like, I never said catfish.
Yeah.
Like that happened to like 4 people in front of us that people were like, why are you pushing this catfish on? Like, no one wants catfish.
Like, it was so chaotic, like ordering. And I'm watching like 3 other people in front of me who either ordered there or did online ordering and their order was messed up. That I got a little nervous.
The guys were really nice, though.
I had to ask one of the girls sitting in there. I was like, have you ever eaten here? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, is it worth the chaos? And she's like, oh, yeah, the food's really good.
And it was.
And
like,
she taught us a life lesson from her grandma.
Yes. So she said that her grandma always told her that only eat at a place that is busy. She's like, you'll have to wait longer, but only eat at a place that is busy. If you go to a place and there's no one there, don't eat there because their food will not be as fresh. Mm-hmm. But if you go to a place that's busy, they're constantly have to remake the food.
Yep.
So like the food, there's a constant rotation of food going on. I was like, oh, that's actually a pretty good point. So we got that food. It was good. It was actually really good. And then we got home at 5 a.m, went to sleep for a couple hours, woke up, and then went to a fish fry. So lots of fish.
That's why I was like, we're going to be doing this tomorrow.
This was 40 minutes of where we've been.
We had to catch everyone up. It was a long week.
Well, here's where I'm going.
Mark your calendars. Jake could be coming to a town near you.
All right, I'm very excited about the shows that I have coming up this weekend, which is September 10th and 11th. I will be in Adena, Minnesota, which is just outside of Minneapolis, for the grand opening of Gutty's, Minnesota. I'm very excited about that. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be there. Yeah, I'm going to be there with Mike Brody and Steve Rivera, who is the owner of Gutty's. He's going to be there too. And that's going to be fantastic. Like, I'm really, really, really looking forward to this. Kyle Yamada is the guy who's running the club there in Minnesota, and I love Kyle. I've done a couple shows with him in the past. He's very funny. I just really, really like Kyle. So I'm actually leaving for that in the morning. Mm-hmm. So here we are at 1 o'clock in the morning doing a podcast. I'm going to go to sleep for a few hours, wake up, drive about 9.5 hours to another Airbnb, all by my lonesome this time, and then stay the night there, and then I'm going to head to the hotel the next day. So September 10th and 11th, I will be in Minnesota, and then I have next week. That's a wedding I'm doing. So doing a wedding. So I have a private gig next Saturday that I'll be doing, and then on September 20th, I will be at Zany's in Nashville doing New Material Mondays. Really stoked about that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm supposed to actually, I'm supposed to be at the Comedy Bar on that Tuesday and Thursday, mm-hmm. but I got offered a gig locally here for that Wednesday.
Okay.
So I'm not 100% yet which one I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So I have to talk to the people at the Comedy Bar because they were just throwing me on.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a booked show or anything. Like I booked like way in advance. I think they were just going to throw me on since I was in town. So I have to make a decision pretty quick about which one of those I'm going to do. I want to be in Nashville. I love being in Nashville, but if I take this, that means I get to come home Tuesday morning. Mm-hmm. And then and then I'm with you guys again. So that just sounds better to me.
It also works with the vehicle situation, considering the truck is still broken down because we fixed a part that wasn't the problem.
Oh my gosh, we'll talk about that on the next episode because we definitely need to talk about it.
Yeah.
It was a hassle.
It was an ordeal.
Yeah, it really was. It was an ordeal. So, sorry, I was just pulling something up real quick. I blame you, Chia.
Okay.
September, so that was what, the week of the 20th? Yeah, so the 24th and 25th of September, I'm going to be at Getty's Comedy Club in Greenwood with Moody Malavi, I think is his name. Moody Malavi. That's I always love being at Getty's. So, and I like meeting new comics, and I've never met him before, so that should be a good time. And then on that's for the rest of September. That's all I'm going to go into September. So, some great shows coming up. I did an open mic tonight at Bear's Place in Bloomington. It's the first time I've been at Bear's Place because this is only their second open mic back open since COVID. And it's one of my favorite open mics, so I was so happy that Grant got it going again.
Yeah.
And went tonight, hung out with some friends, and actually was pretty nervous before because I really don't do a lot of open mics right now. I just try to like put new jokes in my set while I'm on stage, but I need to write some new material and more than just like little bits here and there. So I did a new 5 minutes, and the majority of it went really well. So I was actually really happy with the way that turned out.
Good.
So those are the places that we're going to go. Let's talk a little bit about what we've been watching.
Okay.
What are we watching?
First things first. We usually talk about the things that we watch together.
Yes.
Occasionally we'll talk about stuff that we're watching independently. Because I don't know if people realize this, but when you're in a relationship, the kind of relationship that we have where not only do we love each other and we're partners in life and everything, but we really are best friends.
Yes.
Which I know a lot of people think is stupid, and they hate that. It's dumb, and it's I don't want to
so
hear that.
gross.
I don't want to. Guess what? We like it. We like when you say that. We like whenever you guys are like, "Ew, that's gross," because we're just like we're so awesome. We're so
that's
good,
what, like,
and then we'll just kiss each
when
other right in
people-
front of you.
When people get together young, you're going to have one or two things happen. They're going to get together young, and as they grow up there and grow into themselves, they're going to start drifting apart and be like, well, obviously you're a different person in your 30s than you were in teens. Or
Hopefully.
you grow up together,
As we did.
which is what happened with us.
So we just develop like the same taste,
Yeah.
and we're just buds.
Buds.
We're just good old buddies.
Buddies.
So there's certain shows that we have to watch together.
Yes.
It's Netflix cheating.
Yes.
Even if it's not on Netflix,
Yes.
it's still Netflix cheating. There's specific shows that we have to watch together.
That's a serious marital problem right there.
It's a real offense. So there are certain shows that I just kind of watch solo, and so does Chia. And I started watching the other night. I don't know what made me pick this. I've not watched it since it was on TV, I don't think. I've been watching Third Rock from the Sun. And let me tell you something. That is a great show. That show is so funny. I forgot how funny it was. There's so many good parts in it. Like, did you watch it much whenever you were growing up? No. I watched it a lot. And then I remember watching it a lot stoned. And watching it now, I'm just like, I bet this was great when I was high. Because it's very funny. Like, John Lithgow is hilarious in the show. But they all are. French Stewart is super funny. They're all great. I love Third Rock from... I forgot how much I loved it. So I've been watching that. She's been watching Reba.
I have been. So I never watched Reba like consistently, but there'd be times when it'd be on TV when I'd watch it. But it's been on TV in my patients' rooms a lot in the morning.
Yeah.
And so like I'll be sitting there like checking their blood sugar or drawing up their insulin, and like I'll catch a little bit of it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch it from the beginning.
I feel like Reba is like the perfect dentist office TV show.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the only time I ever watched Reba was when I was at the dentist waiting.
Yeah. Her ex-husband's a dentist.
So it just makes sense. So I've not really watched Reba, but that's completely okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we talked about that movie, The Hunted, that we watched.
Oh,
that's what it was called,
good.
right?
I'll look it
I'm
up.
looking it up right now.
I'll look.
No, I already started.
I got it.
I can
Yeah,
do it. No,
let's
come
see.
on, bud. Let me look it up. I'm just gonna look it up right now. I'm looking.
I got it.
It's called The Hunt.
The Hunt.
I beat you. So The Hunt, which came out in 2020, it stars Betty Gilpin.
Yeah.
And she is amazing. Like, holy cow, is she great? Which she's also in. I think she's in that show Glow, which I watched a little bit of that, and she's in the Tomorrow War, which the Tomorrow War is really good. I watched that on my own.
You watched that?
Yeah. Sometimes I watch movies. I don't ask you first because I don't want you to say wait. I just want to watch it, and that's not cheating. If I just watch it real quick. So
okay,
The Hunt is so good. It's basically about these elitists who kidnap these people who they feel like are less than, and take them to a place and hunt them. So, and it's like really, really good. Hilary Swank is in it. If I just recommended this movie, I think it's on HBO Max. Is where we watched it, and holy cow, is that a good movie? So we watched The Hunt, and we've been watching American Horror Story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, HBO.
I love American Horror Story.
I do too.
I really do.
Yep.
There's been a couple of seasons that I've been like,
But we watched them.
But we watched them, and even the ones that I don't like very much are still pretty decent. I have to say, so far, this is the worst season I've seen.
Really?
This is the worst season I've seen.
You think this is worse than the political one?
The political one I felt like was okay while we were watching it, but it wasn't one that I felt like I'll go back and watch this. This one I'm watching simply because I want to get through it at this point. It's like one of the books that you read where you're just like, I have to finish this, but I don't want to.
I didn't like the political one simply for the fact that when I watch TV, it is to escape my reality.
Sure.
So the political one, I'm like, yeah, I know. This stuff's going
Yeah, but the
on.
difference between that was I felt like a lot of that had to do with cults and stuff too. Like he was like almost starting a cult.
Yeah.
So I thought, I don't know. That one I thought was okay, but I'm more into Charles Manson than you are, so.
Yeah.
But I thought that one was.
But here's the thing: if
okay.
I want to watch that, I'll watch like some true crime stuff or something like that.
No, I get you. It's just I don't know. I just feel like this season is very slow.
It is slow.
But there are some redeeming qualities of this season. Macaulay Culkin is in it.
Yeah.
And he's doing great. He's actually doing fantastic in this. I'm on board for that. But I just feel like it's just not grabbing me.
Do you think the problem is because we are watching it so fast as it comes out?
No, I don't know if it's that. It could possibly be. Well, no, I think it's that, like, from the very first, like, episode or second episode, you already see what's going on. So that can be something that makes me change my mind on it if
they have, like, a
if there's a big
twist.
twist on it,
Which there usually is.
Yeah, there will be, but it's gonna have to be a really good twist for me to be like, okay, that was worth it. I thought they were going down this way, and then they completely switch it up. I'm just not really buying into it. I just don't really care for it too much. It's very interesting, like the story is very interesting, but it's just not there for me.
See, I feel like some of the problem, though, is that, like, the first 8 seasons, we binge watch.
Sure.
And then the 9th season was 1984.
The best season ever.
So that, like, just because it had those good, like, old slasher feels to it, it didn't matter that we were watching it week by week.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe...
this isn't... It's just not hooking me.
And this one is weird because there's 10 episodes. And the first 6, I think, are one story, and the last 4 are different.
I'm wondering if that's the twist.
Yeah.
What if the other story is saying, oh, you thought that all this was going on, but it's actually this or something?
Yeah.
Or it could be completely different. I don't know.
And we
We'll
also
see.
watched all of
Like,
American Horror Stories.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about on here a little bit.
And I'm not saying I'm against this season. I'm just saying that as of right now, it's not grabbing me. I'm still on board for it. I really like the writing of this show. I think that they've really done some amazing things in their previous seasons. So I'm still gonna go ahead and watch them. I just feel like, and I knew this was probably gonna happen because 1984 was not only my favorite season of American Horror Story, that's one of my favorite seasons of any TV show.
Very,
ever.
very well.
But I love slasher films.
Yeah.
I love camp slasher films. You put a camp in a slasher film for me and I'm in. Like Fear Street, the second Fear Street, which you've not watched part 2 yet.
I just watched the first one.
That's what it is. You'll love it. It's a camp.
Okay.
They're at Camp Nightwing.
My daughter absolutely loves the Fear Street movies, and she's been apparently her and her dad buddied up and watched all of them together, and she's been asking me, and during these, this time off, I watched it with her.
It's weird having a 12-year-old.
It's cool.
It is cool because, like, she's old enough to where I'm probably letting her watch stuff like I shouldn't let her watch.
I don't think so.
But not too bad. Like, because we've been watching a show on Netflix called I Think You Should Leave.
Oh, my God.
And it's like, it is
it's so annoying. They quote it all the time. And I'm usually in the know with these things, and I'm not with this.
Is that why it's annoying to you, just because you don't understand? Because it's a very deep bonding experience for me and my daughter.
I'm glad you have that.
I was talking to people at the mic about it tonight, how proud I am. They were cracking up.
Really?
Yeah, because I was talking about how, like, we were all just sitting around eating, and then Jasmine just, like, puts her head down, and you were like, Jasmine, are you okay? And she just goes, I'm just so tired. I'm just the most tired I've ever been in my whole life.
They've been quoting this show, and I'll go,
funny.
What is that? And Jasmine will look at me and go, I think you should leave. But she says it like that, and I'm like, I wish you would just tell me what this is. And finally, we were sitting around the campfire, I think, at our uncle's house. And I was like, what is this from? And she's like, I think you should leave. I'm like, why won't you just tell me? And her and Jake are losing their minds laughing so hard. And she's like, or no, you told me, because she just kept going, I think you should leave. She just kept repeating it.
But here's the cool thing is that, like, this is the first, like, we've done stuff together, and, like, me and her have been into, like, similar things before, but this is the first time that me and her have, like, deeply bonded on something, because it is a show that has made me laugh harder than a show has in a long time. Like I just like Emilio Estevez laugh. That's whenever Chia knows it's a real laugh, because all my laughs are real. But there's a specific laugh that whenever something really, really gets me, and she says I sound like Emilio Estevez in Young Guns whenever I laugh. It's like a really high-pitched laugh. And all my laughs are real. Like, I'm always really laughing, but that's whenever something, like, breaks me down.
Just tickles him to death.
Oh, my goodness. That's whenever I become the giggling guru. Like, it is so funny. And this show is hilarious, and Jasmine picks up on, like, the funniest parts, like, she likes all the same skits I do. She quotes them so superbly. Just to see this 12-year-old girl, like, doing these skits is so funny to me. Oh, my God. It's just such a good time. Well, I love being a dad.
I'm glad you guys have that.
I
really am.
Yeah. You say that with malice on your face. I can tell that you're real about it. But I think that's all we've really been watching.
Yeah.
We just... been watching. I started to watch that Naked and Afraid and in Love. I think I talked about that on the last episode.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that.
Not for me. Like, here's my thing about that show.
Creepy.
Here's my thing about that show. The show is called Naked and Afraid and in Love, and basically what the show is that they are taking these people who have tried every single way possible to fall in love. And you know what? Speed dating's not worked, Tinder has not worked, and going out to the clubs hasn't worked. So this is my last shot. Really? This is your last shot.
Naked,
your last shot is going on national television, naked, and walking around looking for other naked people, hoping that there's some connections. Are you kidding me? You're here for television.
Yeah.
You are not here to find
100%.
love. And not only that, but I just personally, as a human, as a human man, I don't have the balls to do that show.
Well, and here's another thing, like, you're gonna... We've been married for a long time, so whatever, we go in the bathroom when each other's using the bathroom if we have to grab something. But you're going to be out there with some stranger naked, hoping to be attracted and
then have diarrhea.
And then
they always get diarrhea on Naked and Afraid. She's going to have explosive diarrhea. He's going to be throwing up right next to her.
You got like mud. You have.
But maybe that's it.
Smell the worst. Maybe if you're in love,
that's it. Everything else is That's just like if we could survive this, we could survive anything.
There's no mystery anymore.
But I just don't understand like the fact of like. Could you imagine the first time meeting someone that you want to date and you're just in the wind? You know what I mean? Like I don't have that kind of confidence. I don't have that kind of confidence just to walk up to somebody and just be like, this is all it.
Two people who met and the fella was how do I put this delicately? He was
he had a boner. Yeah, I think I talked about that in the last episode. Yeah, so
it's weird.
Haven't really gotten back into that. But we have been reading some books, which is makes Chia very excited.
It does.
As per
No,
usual.
you go first.
Nah,
Baby,
per
you
usual.
go first.
Go ahead.
All right. I don't know what I told y'all I was at last time we talked, but I'm at 27 books. Yep. Remember my goal is 15. I am at 27. I didn't reset my goal, but I'm really hoping to get to 30. So I can't remember what I finished last time. I had read, let's see, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, and listened to Harry Potter and The Chamber of Secrets. So those are my 2 recent books that I've finished. So I'm currently listening to Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm probably about halfway through that. And then the book I'm currently reading is Life, the Universe, and Everything. It is the 3rd book of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I really love this series. It's so simple and silly. It's fun. It's adventurous. It's got fantasy and sci-fi in it. So
it's one of the funniest series. Like it's very hard.
It makes me laugh out loud.
I was going to say it's very hard for a book to make me audibly laugh.
Yeah.
And these books do.
Yeah.
Like they're so funny.
So I'm over halfway through that one. They are very short reads. I know some people might not think short reads count, but I count them.
Why wouldn't they?
A little over 200 pages.
I'm going to count comic books, and I'm about to blow it out of the water.
You always count graphic novels.
Graphic novels are different, though.
No, they're not.
They're different.
Okay.
A comic book is like 34 pages.
Yeah.
A graphic novel is like 200 sometimes.
Okay.
So there's definitely a difference there.
But it's still not a ton of words.
You want
to pictures.
Well, I've not counted. I don't think any graphic novels this year, actually. So
No, because you haven't read any.
You don't know me.
I do know you.
You don't know me.
So when we went to Barnes & Noble the other day, I went ahead and picked up the 4th installment, which is So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. And then after that, I'll probably have to get online because we don't have a Barnes & Noble around here anymore.
There's one in Greenwood. We can pick it up whenever we go to Gutty's.
I guess, but I don't go that often.
We'll just make a plan to go with me at the end of this month.
Okay.
And we can go. We'll make a day of
it. The 5th book, they didn't have it at this one, or I would have bought it. But the 5th book is mostly harmless.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to, I like series and I like to complete things. I'm hoping to finish that this year. So if I finish the 2 books I'm currently reading and get that one, I'll have hit 30.
You'll do it. I mean, you're going to get 34 books this year, I bet.
34?
I think you'll hit 34.
You think so?
Yeah, you're reading a lot. I'm very proud of you. You're doing great.
Thank you. It's been nice. I didn't, this is our year of mind. The most mind-enriching thing I probably have done is reading. But I also think, part of taking care of yourself mentally is kind of giving yourself a break. And because I am a nurse during the pandemic, my brain feels like it's going to explode a lot of the times.
Yeah.
So reading, and I have read quite a bit of nonfiction this year too, but reading fiction, I just feel like has been very healthy for me.
Yeah, I think that's fine because, that also encourages the imagination, and it helps you in just a lot of aspects. But, yeah, it also is a good just kind of, mental break.
Yeah.
Just to pop into somebody else's universe for a little bit. I like that.
Yeah. Thanks. What about you, baby?
I read a book called A Load of Hooey by Bob Odenkirk.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Odenkirk is he's an actor, comedian, a great writer. He wrote for SNL for a while. He had his show called Mr. Show with Bob and David. He's Saul from Better Call Saul.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's got a new show or new movie out called like Nobody that looks really good. It looks like kind of John Wick. So that looks really good. So I read that book, which was really good.
I think so. I think I know what you're talking about.
And I think it actually is made by the same people who made John Wick, but it looks really good. I definitely want to check it out. So I read that book and I liked it. It was really funny. There was the book is called A Load of Hooey, and that's exactly what it is. Like if somebody was like, "Well, what's it about?" I'm like, "It's literally just a load of hooey." Like there's so many ridiculous things in it. It's very funny. So I really like that. Started reading the Restaurant at the End of the Universe, the second Hitchhiker's Guide to
Which is
Chia.
another reason I had to finish the 3rd book.
Yeah.
Is because I don't want you to...
I usually read these pretty quick.
Yeah.
I still do have my Stephen King book both of them that I haven't finished. I need to finish The Shining.
I was hoping you would finish that one so I could start it, but
yeah,
that might be a next year thing.
I'm getting there on it, but that's not the Stephen King book you should read first.
Okay.
You need to read Salem's Lot.
Do we have Salem's Lot?
I believe so. If not, it's very easy.
Darn,
to
we
find.
got to buy another book.
No. Salem's Lot is probably, out of all of them that I've read, the ones I would suggest is number one, Salem's Lot, because it's vampires and you love vampires.
Yeah.
And it's a very good vampire story. You'll really, really like it. Another
Twilight-y, is it?
No, not at all. Another one that I think you would like is Tommyknockers. Tommyknockers is really good. A lot of people don't like it. It's been slammed a lot, even by Stephen King, who I believe doesn't like it, and he supposedly was doing a lot of coke whenever he wrote that one too, which he does that whenever he writes books. That's one of my favorite Stephen King books. I really like Tommyknockers a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll probably reread that one because it's probably been 7 years since I've read it. So I'll probably read it again in the next couple of years.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm reading that, and then I picked up a book. Let me see what the name of it is, because I do want to say what the name of it is. It's right here.
I was going to get some books for the kids, but I want to create a book list this year, so I will have more book buying in my near future. So I guess we will have to go to Barnes & Noble, because, I mean,
which
I
is
can
fine.
order
We
them
can just
offline,
go.
but...
We'll just pick one of the days. Maybe on that Saturday or something, we can all go up early and spend the day at the ball. So I bought 2 books at Barnes & Noble. I got one of them that's called The Colorado Kid.
Okay.
It is a hard case crime novel.
Ooh, I might like that.
By Stephen King.
Okay.
So
And that's not super thick either.
No, so that's why I got that one. As I wanted to read another Stephen King, but I wanted to read kind of a thinner one, and it's like a crime novel.
It's a little over 200 pages.
Yeah. So and I think that's like he's been writing some crime novels lately. So I definitely want to check that one out.
Did you say it's newer?
I don't know if that one's. I think that one's actually kind of older. He's got a new one that he just wrote though. But I wanted to read this one first to see if I'd like his crime style.
Copyright 2005.
So I don't know if I'm going to read that one first or if I'm going to read this one first. So this one's called The Collar of Magic by Terry Pratchett, and it's part of the Discworld series.
Okay, what's that?
I don't know.
But it's a series.
I've heard of it a lot though. Like I've heard of the Discworld series a whole bunch. So
this is another smaller book, and they're paperbacks.
Yeah.
Okay, less than 300 pages. Again, if we are reaching up to 400 pages, you need to start thinking about turning it into 2 books for me.
Do what?
Books if they're reaching up to 400 pages.
Oh, I see what you're saying
Yeah.
now. I thought you were saying like it doesn't count unless it's 400 pages.
No.
I was like, who are you kidding?
No.
Here's what Discworld is. Discworld is a comic fantasy book series written by the English author Terry Pratchett set on the Discworld, a flat planet balanced on the backs of 4 elephants, which in turn stand on the back of a giant turtle.
Oh.
The series begins in 1983 with The Collar of Magic and continued into the final novel, The Shepherd's Crown, which was published in 2015.
Now, how many books are in this series?
Following Pratchett's death in 2015, because you cut me off.
Sorry.
The books frequently parodied or take inspiration from J.R.R. Tolkien, Robert E. Howard, H.P. Lovecraft, Charles Dickens, and William Shakespeare, as well as mythology, folklore, and fairy tales, often using them as satirical parallels with cultural, political, and scientific issues. So, there are 41 novels in this series.
Oh.
Is that too? You think it's too much for you?
That's almost pushing it for me. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Like, I feel like if it's really good,
it depends.
Yeah.
Like, I love the Stephanie Plum series by Jana Ivanovich, and I think I'm one book off from having read all those, and there's like 27, 28, something like that.
Yeah. So I was looking though because I felt like there's like one of them that was like a very well-known book that's part of it, but maybe it's just this one that we're starting with. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it could be fun. So I wanted to try.
Okay.
I wanted to try it and see what that's like. So that's kind of where I'm at with
definitely
reading.
gonna have a Stephen King, probably a couple Stephen King books on my to be read list next year. I haven't quite decided, but I think I'm gonna set my goal at 20, and then probably
Me too.
Yeah,
Mine's 30. I'm at 16.
probably you can do it. Probably 15 of those 20, I will have books from my to be read list that's ever growing.
Yeah, of course.
And I think at least 2 of those, so probably at least Salem's Lot and either Tommy Knockers or this one right here.
I mean, you would also love The Stand, but The Stand's really, really long. But
Yeah.
man, is it good.
So here's my issue with The Stand because of watching the miniseries whenever I was
Yeah.
younger, and you talking about the book. And I'm a little worried about this with other Stephen King novels because of things you told me. I know they're not all like this, but if there is any amount of pedophilia talk
Yeah.
and it gets too graphic, like someone's talking about something that happened in their past, I can't read it.
Yeah.
There was one book this year that I said nope, I can't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even remember what book it was, but it was just
Yeah, it gets real.
too much.
There's some stuff that he does.
Oh,
I
it
don't.
was
I
James
can't.
Patterson,
Okay.
his Alex Cross series.
Oh, gotcha.
Like I read Kiss the Girls and Along Came a Spider, and then I started to go through the third one, and I was like,
yeah.
nope.
Well, I don't think you'll have an issue that I can remember with Salem's Lot or Tommy Knockers.
Okay.
You shouldn't have an issue with either one of those. The Stand definitely has some parts in it. Mm-hmm. Mostly with the Boom Boom guy.
Yeah,
Mostly with him.
that's what I thought, and
Yeah.
he's just like it's going back through his memories or his past or something.
But it's the worst thing is him on his way to Vegas.
Okay, and he's an adult.
Yeah, he's an adult
yeah,
then,
but,
but he's special needs. So that's what makes it kind of hard.
Yeah, and I really anything too graphic with sexual violence
Yeah.
really like brings me down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've read a single Stephen King book that brought me up.
That's probably true.
They're not like they're not those kind of books. But yeah, so I'm ready to. I'm liking what I'm reading so far in this book, so I'm ready to get into that. But real quick before we go, I do want to talk about the games that we discussed briefly earlier.
What games are we playing?
So anyone who is a fan of the show or follows us on any of the social media sites like Facebook, where you can find us at Jake and Chia, Rubel's Blessed Ones, or just Jake Rubel Comedy, or on Instagram at Indiana Rubel, on TikTok at Indiana Rubel, all these wonderful places, or just jakerubel.com, all those places where you can get a hold of us. We love board games.
Love 'em.
We never really played them that much until the pandemic. Once the pandemic hit, we started playing. We played like Clue and stuff like that, and we loved it. But Scrabble was our game. Mm-hmm. We've played Scrabble for years. Like we would break that out.
Actually, don't have Scrabble
It's
anymore.
right. Yeah, it's right there.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Is it under the bed?
no, it was over here with the other
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
So we would play Scrabble, like whenever we'd be like, oh, let's play a game, but I don't want to play a video game. It was always Scrabble. And then that turned into Sequence, and then that turned into Petrella House on the Hill.
That was a large leap.
Yeah, huge leap. And now, like, we just love board games. One of our favorite things to play is deck building games, which we've talked about before. If you have questions about any of the board games we ever talk about, we do get messages from people frequently that are like, hey, I'm really wanting to start a game night with my family. What games do you guys suggest? Totally send us an email or message us on Facebook. If you want to send us an email, you can actually just email us at jakeandchia, CHIA, @gmail.com. Mm-hmm. You can email us there, and we'll let you know we'll ask you a couple questions, figure out like what you're into, and then we'll go from there. So we love gaming. We love getting people into games. We just love everything about it. So we did want to make sure that we talked about it, because we've not been... Like, until about 2 weeks ago, we hadn't really been playing games very often. We're just with our work schedules and then with the kids and everything, we've just been tired. But to be honest, I got sick of us not playing games, and I started playing solo games. And I think I talked about that last week. I played Lord of the Rings solo game, and then that kind of got the kids to be like, oh, I want to play some games. So like me and the kids started playing some games, and then finally it kind of got me and Chia to where we're starting to play games again. So we talked about like where we picked these games up, but I did want to kind of talk about the games themselves. So the first game that we got, it's a game called Tiny Epic Zombies. Tiny Epic is a series of games where it's a very small box, but they pack so much gameplay into this little box. There's so much stuff that goes on in this game. So basically what it is that you have these cards that you lay out that make a mall. And then you have zombies that you place in the mall, and one person acts as the zombie, and then the other person acts as two characters. And then you play through, and the characters have goals that they have to complete in order to escape the mall and win. Or the zombie, a.k.a. me, has to overrun the survivors and win the game, which is what I did. So, you have 3 Sanooks, and none of them are matches?
No, what'd you do with all my shoes?
I don't know. So we played that game, and it was a lot of fun. The graphics are really, really good. The gameplay is very good. The only thing I will say about that game is that if you're playing as the zombie and there's only 2 of you guys, it really is. It gets kind of like robotic. It's just you're doing the same thing every round, and then the fun of it is that the person you're playing against is kind of running out of options. So you're just overloading them with zombies and stuff.
That's the problem. I had to play with 2 characters. You had to play with 1. And that's why you won.
We can play different next time. I don't care. You're the one who kept telling me to be the zombie. So I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
So and the cool thing is that we did like it enough to where we want to get more of the Tiny Epic series.
We have another one.
We have one called
played.
Tiny Epic Kingdoms. We've just not played it yet.
Installment.
Yeah, the first one that they made. So it is a fun game. There's Tiny Epic Pirates. I want to get that one. Tiny Epic Galaxies. There's a whole series of them that I want to try out. Tiny Epic Dinosaurs. That one looks really good.
Again, I like series, and that includes those board games too.
Yeah, like we have the Villainous series. We have a lot of Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Hero Realm, Smash Up. Yeah, Cave versus Cave. So anyways, so Tiny Epic Zombies, we played that. I give it a thumbs up. It was enjoyable to play.
It was fun.
I think it'd be funner with more people.
Yes.
And also, again, I think it'd be fun. I think that'd be a really fun cooperative game because you can play cooperative where you all are trying to survive the zombies, and then there's an AI basically controlling the game.
Yeah.
So I think that would be fun. I want to play it that way. So then we also played Dice Throne. And Dice Throne is a very unique game.
Yeah.
It's where it's another battle game, but what you have is you have character cards, and on the character cards, they have like a sequence of dice. So maybe on your dice you have like swords and hearts and stuff like that, and you have to roll these dice and come up with basically a combination of these dice. You choose one to go with a combination, and you have to make sure that you're rolling that. So like maybe a small straight. It's like Yahtzee.
Yeah.
It's a lot like Yahtzee, but you have to end up getting these combinations to do attacks on your opponent.
Mm-hmm. To do damage.
Yeah, and that once we figured out how to play that game,
it was fun.
It was a lot of fun. We played that one a couple times. Or no, we just did we play it twice?
Once.
Just once.
Yeah.
So we'll play. That'll probably be the next game we play.
I think we had to restart it because we started wrong.
Yeah, I think that'll be the next game that we play. To be honest with you, so I really enjoyed that. I thought there was another game that we played.
No.
But I guess not. So just those 2 games. Yeah. So yeah, we've got a lot of new games that we really got to get into. So we do want to take just a quick minute to thank all our Patreon supporters.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for what you do. In fact, let me play a little jingle for you.
Thank you to the Patreon blessed ones.
Yeah, thank you, blessed ones, for blessing us. We love you guys, and we really do appreciate it. The Patreon is a really great way to show your support for the show. It is not the only way, but it is a great way because it does help us, pay some of the bills here. So and whenever I say here, I do mean for the podcast. So it helps, website fees, podcast fees, all that kind of stuff. So thank you very much for doing that. If you want to be a Patreon supporter, there's some perks for it. There's 3 different ways that you can do it. Just go check out patreon.com/laughandbeblessed. And if you are blessed and want to bless us, we appreciate it. So thank you very much. We love you guys. And I think that's it.
That's it.
I think we're good. We did about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Which is longer than we normally go, but we missed you guys.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff we had to unpack here. So
yeah.
Thank you very much for everything that you guys do. We really do appreciate it. Again, check us out on social media. If you have a couple minutes, maybe just leave us a quick iTunes review. Thank you to those who have been doing that. It goes so far to let other people find out about the show. So we really do appreciate it. We love you guys very much. Have an amazing week. We'll be back in a couple days. Whenever I get back from Minnesota, we're going to record another episode. So we'll be back in the saddle again. Love you guys. Have a great week and keep on
laughing and be blessed.
I messed you up.
You did, but
it's okay.
okay.
Keep on.
Yeah.
I usually remember 2.
Yeah.
But sometimes you throw out suck it. So
suck it.